It's time for another episode of the Joshcast. I was walking on a hill, which was kind of weird, 'cause I wasn't walking up the hill, I was walking inside the hill, because I have a phase cloak. Technology that enables me to walk through things. Phase cloak. Dubbed illegal by the Treaty of Khitomer and the United Federation of Planets. Phase cloak. Solve so many problems plot-wise. Phase cloak. I was watching some episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation. Here's my favorite detail about Star Trek The Next Generation. Not a lot of people are talking about this. I need to bring it to the attention of the interwebs. I have noticed that in episodes, not movies, in episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation, whenever there is a crisis and one of the characters has to get from one place to another, no matter how serious it is, no matter how much of a time crunch there is, they always walk. There's a scene where Picard says to Worf, "Security breach. Deck 12, level 2. Get down there, Mr. Worf." And he says, "Aye, aye, sir." And then he turns, calmly walks into the turbo lift, stops and gets a cup of coffee. That's how relaxed these people are in the 24th century. I just watched the episode with Spock. And at the end of the episode, they are in the enemy headquarters. They're in the middle of Romulan headquarters. They have a very limited window of escape. Everyone in the building wants to kill them, would kill them on sight. We better go. All right, let's go. And they calmly just walk out of the room. There's no running out of the room. There's not even a tense walk, a kind of a thriller walk. It's the kind of walk that you'd see Laura Linney do in a one of those 90s or early 2000 thrillers where she's walking down a hallway and maybe Ted Danson is the murderer, maybe he's not. We don't know. I'm not even sure what movie I'm referencing, but I know there should be one out there like that. Here's another creepy thing. Over the course of the last 2 years, I kept having this reoccurring dream that there was another Star Trek The Next Generation movie. And I think this was before they announced that there was the new Picard series. So I can't help but wonder if my dream was a premonition or somehow I was clocking in or checking in with whoever one of the writers was, envisioning having this dream about it. Or it was just something I wished for. Or it means absolutely nothing, and there is no God, and there's no such thing as an interconnected universe, and we are all meaningless. And that's how quickly we can turn to depression. Feel like I'm doing a bit of a voice right now. A bit of a actor voice, radio voice. But I'm standing firm on this walking thing. A lot of walking, not a lot of running. Move it, people, hustle. And then in that same episode, at the end, they're trying to escape from Romulus. Again, the entire planet wants to kill them. And Data turns to Picard and says, we have about 15 minutes before we have to go. How is that? Even if you had 15 minutes before you had to go, I'd still go. Yeah, we got about 15 minutes before we need to leave Nazi Germany. Ah, you know what? Let's give the time back to the room. Let's get there early. Let's get to life early. Let's get away from death early, shall we? I felt good about that. I felt quite good about that. That was nice. That's good. I'm commenting on 30-year-old episodes of Star Trek. Fantastic. In the zeitgeist. Feeling the zeitgeist. Feeling it. Feeling the zeitgeist. Well, they haven't really heard anything about it in the zeitgeist. What haven't you heard about? Well, this movie with Laura Linney and Ted Danson, where he may or may not be the killer. Surely you've heard of it. It's called Is He the Killer? Here's a clip from it. I think you're the killer, but I'm not sure. I'm not the killer. I'm not. What do you say? What? I'm not the killer. Ah, hey, I'm not the. I'm what killer? Killing me? Killing? Come on. I don't kill. I'm not the kill kind of guy. Look, I own all these hats. How could that kind of person kill? That's making me think even more that you're the killer. No. Who put this silly idea into your head? Who did this? I saw a dead body in the trunk of your car. That was not, no, that was just a collection of paint cans, and I think there was a soccer ball. That's probably what looked like the head, and then, some angel hair pasta, and that's what looked like the hair. So you're saying in your trunk why would you have loose angel hair pasta in your trunk? I'm a slob! I'm a bachelor! That's what we do. We throw angel hair pasta into the trunk. As Steve Martin would say, I'm a wild and crazy guy. But not murder crazy, just angel hair pasta in the trunk of the car crazy. I just want to say this is an absolutely delicious meal. Well, thank you. By the way, this is a new sketch, right? Correct. This is a new sketch. Yes, this is no longer the sketch about the man who is denying murder. This is a totally different sketch. Okay, good. Just checking. Because there was really not much of a transition there. Anyway, we're saying about the meal. Oh, it's just delightful. Delightful. Can you tell me a bit how you prepared it? Oh, sure. Well, the first thing I did was I cooked the pasta, and then I threw it in the trunk of a car for about a week, and then I added some oregano, and then in terms of the sauce, it was a reduction sauce. Excuse me, can we go back a minute? In fact, I don't know why I didn't stop this conversation sooner. I'm amazed I was able to let you get to reduction sauce before stopping and saying, did you say that you put this pasta in the trunk of a car for a week? Yes, I did. Yes, I've found through copious amounts of research and trial and error that when you put angel hair pasta in the trunk of a Toyota, it tastes better. It can only be a Toyota. I've tried it with Hondas. I've tried it with Mazdas. I've tried it with Oldsmobiles. I even managed to find one of them old Saturns. It only works with Toyota. And as you can see, as you can taste, it really makes a difference, wouldn't you say? I've suddenly lost my appetite. Okay, now you're being narrow-minded, all right? You're worried about the whole germs thing, and that's a myth. We know that. Clearly it's a myth. It's not why people die. People die because they piss off the wood nymphs and the fairy sprites. That's why they die. Okay, great. So you're crazy. Good to know. Good to know. Thank you for making that clear. And the chef was put into mental rehabilitation. And for years, people thought he was crazy. But soon, the practice of putting angel hair pasta in a Toyota became more common. Until one day, the chef was thought to be crazy, was awarded with the highest Michelin star. Well, at that point, that's when I stopped listening to the Joshcast, because he said it was awarded with the highest Michelin star. That's not how Michelin works. You get multiple stars, 2, 3 stars, 4 stars. So he's not doing his homework. I can't listen to this podcast anymore. I can't do it. I don't listen. Well, what podcasts do you listen to? Well, I listen to the Angel Hair Pasta podcast. There's a podcast on Angel Hair Pasta. Of course there is. Dee-dee-dee-dee. It's the Angel Hair Pasta podcast. Hi. Timothy Johnson here, and it's time for another episode of the Angel Hair Podcast. And I have with me today Ted Garcia, who has said this is how he wanted me to introduce him. He's not a murderer. He's not a murderer. So Ted, thank you so much for being here. And we're here to just swap stories about Angel Hair Pasta, and want to hear yours. Yeah, well, I'm just a fun guy. People have been saying I'm a murderer, and I'm totally not. Totally not. Just want to talk about Angel Hair Pasta. So here's my stories. I met this lovely lady, lovely redhead, fantastic person. Got to know each other, started to fall in love, and I realized, you know what? This person's an absolute angel. So I ate her hair. That's the Angel Hair Podcast. Right. Okay. Good. So that was just insanity, wasn't it? Absolute insanity. I sometimes wonder if I should be allowed to post these. One questions whether or not that's such a good idea. But post I shall. I feel like I gotta talk about something real now. It's been getting a little silly. Little silliness is fine. Too much silliness, not so much. So what's the real thing I'm going to talk about? What's the depth, the going into the depths of the soul thing I'm going to talk about? I hate critiquing other people. I've come to realize this, and I'm in a situation now where I have to critique people. And I hate doing it because, what do I really know at the end of the day? Like, I think the scariest place for me to be is when I'm in that mindset of, I know what I'm doing. That's never a good place to be. I think there always needs to be, excuse me. I had a little bit of trouble sleeping last night because it was 9 million degrees outside. And my body said, hey, I'm not a lizard. I am not a lizard. But I don't want to turn on the air conditioning because it blows in my face. And it makes me sneeze. So I just kind of lied there, pretending I was in a Tennessee Williams play. My, the heat is oppressive. I do not know what to do about this heat. My. And it is very oppressive heat, let's be honest. Today's better. It's cloudy. That's nice. Where was I? Not being an expert. Or saying I know what I'm doing. That's what it is. I feel like that's the death knell of any situation, is as soon as somebody says, I know what I'm doing. Even in movies, that's always listen, I know what I'm doing. And then 10 seconds later, he's blown up. I know what I'm doing, Maverick. I've been an ace fighter pilot for 15 years. That's why I always like to say, I probably know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing, probably. Most likely, I most likely know what I'm doing, Maverick. You know what, Maverick? I'm going to listen to you, because you're friggin' Maverick. That's the movie I want to see. Or that's the character in a movie. That's the character in the movie I want to play. Don't go in there. Well, normally I would say I know what I'm doing, but since you're the protagonist of the movie, I'm going to listen to you. I'm not going in there. I won't go in there. What do you think I should do? You can go in first. No, I'm not falling for that one. Because if you go in first, then something will happen to me because I was right behind you. I'm just going to stay out of it. You're the protagonist. I'm going to just stay away. Motorcycles. That's a thing. I never drive one. Too afraid. I say that because I'm driving behind a motorcycle right now, and it's annoying because I always have to double my following distance with a motorcycle because they can stop faster than a car. So my anxiety increases whenever I'm dealing with a motorcycle on the road. I just want to shout at them, you know what? Can you find another way to live life to the fullest without making it harder for me? Please? Please. Can you find enlightenment with nature in a vehicle that is more protective? Thank you. About to make the right turn. Much easier than making a left turn. Left turns are scary. Never quite get over the left turn. That's always the tough one. The left turn is where we got to trust our fellow man. Got to trust our fellow human being. I'm going to make a left turn. Going into oncoming traffic, I'm trusting that I can gauge distance. I'm trusting that you're not going to speed up. Every time I make a left turn, I'm putting civilization to the test. Has civilization crumbled? You'll never see Mad Max making a left turn. Oh no, not in this post-apocalyptic nightmare. It's only right turns. 4 rights, that's what I'm going to do as Mad Max. Running up to the children that he's saving beyond Thunderdome. What are you doing making a left turn? What do you think this is? We're in the apocalypse now. You can't make left turns. Right turns. Maybe you can make a left turn if it's a one-way street. Maybe. Foolish children. Foolish children. And you. We all know what you are. What? I'm not. I didn't kill anybody. No. The angel hair thing. That was a joke. I didn't kill anybody. What are you kidding? No. You realize we're living in the apocalypse now. Everyone openly kills other people. Oh well. I like to eat human hair. That's me. You know what? It's nice that I can finally be myself. This is nice. I'm liking this. No left turns. Got it.